Now to our series, Anything for Money, Inside America's Scam Epidemic, reporting on overseas scammers robbing Americans of billions of dollars every year. And one question we've been hearing a lot, can't something be done about online fraud? Well, Jim Axelrod is here with an answer, at least when it comes to the role of financial institutions. Jim, good morning.
Tony, good morning to you. Earlier this year, a 92-year-old retired nurse named Ruth became another heartbreaking victim in this epidemic of crime. Ruth's story starts with an email that popped into her computer. Scammers, who posed as government IT experts, told her she'd been hacked, but if she followed instructions, they'd protect her money.
I didn't talk to my family about it.
Not only was Ruth manipulated by scammers, but they told her to keep it secret.
Well, I wanted to tell them, but I thought that the government would punish me. And I didn't want them to get into trouble, anybody that I told.
Okay, let's start all over again, no worries.
The scammers convinced Ruth to take money out of her account to buy gold, to keep her assets safe.
They made me buy gold, a lot of gold.
What reason did they give you for you needing to have gold?
They told me that if I bought gold, it's safer than stocks. And I agreed with that.
This is surveillance video showing Ruth walking the gold outside a retirement home and handing it to a stranger for what she thought was safekeeping.
It must be heartbreaking for you to watch that.
Absolutely. Shocking. Shocking that my mother, who's a really smart woman, would do such a thing.
Ruth's daughter, Leslie, was a trusted contact on her mom's account at Charles Schwab, who said she kept calling and pleading with them to step in.
I am begging you, lock my mother's account down. Please, please lock her account down. It is definitely a scam. We are all convinced it is a scam.
Schwab denies these claims, saying it tried to warn Ruth about the fraud risk, but that Ruth was insistent.
Fraud has always been here, but it's just continuing to bubble up.
Jill Gogol is the vice president of fraud services at the Dokoupil Community Credit Union in Dubuque, Iowa, where they have an idea how to reduce fraud, targeting their 170,000 members.
More than bubble up now. Now it's just a
Everyday occurrence.
fire hose.
Yeah, some days it feels that way.
10 years ago, Dokoupil says they prevented $300,000 in fraud losses. Last year, it was $10 million. Here, every employee from teller to executive gets fraud training annually.
So our first and foremost reason that we do this is because we want to protect our members.
Including how to spot and talk to credit union members whose withdrawal patterns indicate fraud risk.
We really want our tellers to engage with that member to understand what it is they're doing, especially if it's an unusual transaction for them.
And the customer gets a little bit annoyed with the teller. Why are you asking me so many questions? I'm going to another branch.
They're going to call me on the phone and they're going to say, I didn't like this interaction. Something felt off.
Your tellers are empowered to do that.
100%.
Dokoupil then alerts local branches to watch out for dissatisfied customers who might also be potential scam victims, and even reach out to a trusted contact on file. Banks here work directly with local police like Corporal Isaiah Huff of the Dubuque PD.
It's a hard pill to swallow for some people.
Corporal Huff can sometimes reach a scam victim in a way family or friends cannot.
Does it happen, though, where just your presence as a detective, just the badge, makes somebody go, ooh?
That carries a lot of weight when I can show up with some supporting evidence that this is not who they say it is.
We think banks are trying their best to protect customers as best they can.
Paul Benda is with the American Bankers Association. He's testified before Congress on financial fraud impacting consumers and says you can't just rely on the banks to prevent it.
They would love to be able to do everything they can to stop them from losing their money. But a lot of times in the end, it's their money.
For Jill Gogol, there is still great value in a financial institution that takes customer security personally.
You're talking about a corporate mindset. It's not resources, it's will.
Correct. And I think sometimes we need to remember that maybe taking 2 extra minutes for one person can be a really big difference maker for that one person and really make sure that they feel safe and secure.
So that 92-year-old victim, Ruth, is now suing Schwab, and she's not alone. New York State Attorney General Letitia James has sued Citibank, claiming it failed to respond to fraudulent activity and implement strong online protections. Citibank has moved to have the suit dismissed. Arguments in that case are set for next month.
It's an amazing report, Jim. There's certainly from a marketing and advertising point of view, these institutions, if they make a pitch to customers and say, we're protecting you, there's an opportunity there. But let's talk about the scammers also, and then go wherever you want here. Is anyone trying to catch them, the guy who took the gold bars from a 92-year-old?
So this is, as we say all the time, there is a special place in hell for these people, right?
That's very true.
But it's complicated. A lot of it originates in West Africa, in Ghana, in Nigeria. In fact, CBS News correspondent Deborah Patta, the intrepid Deborah Patta, goes to a boiler room and actually confronts these guys and finds out why they do what they do. She's going to have more on that tonight on the CBS Evening News, and she'll be here tomorrow morning, CBS Mornings, and you can really get a sense of who are these guys.
Pulling the curtain back.
Yeah, exactly. It's stunning reporting.
I love all things Deborah Patta and Jim Axelrod. Thank you so much for being here, Jim.